As we had seen in some of the earlier lectures, the heartbeats, or let's say the cardiac cycle, it is started because of an electrochemical impulse generated from the sinoatrial node, carried through the Purkinje fibers, further to the atrioventricular node, then bundle of His, and finally again Purkinje fibers. The flow of this kind of an electrical impulse is responsible for the heartbeats to be in a proper space. Now this electrical activity which we are talking about, it is actually an indication of proper functioning of heart. As such, this electrical impulse, the current that we are talking about, is in microvolts. But then there is a mechanism whereby this current is amplified. It's made into volts and then it is represented in a graphical form. That is what is called as electrocardiogram. Electrocardiogram, it stands for the electrical activity that is responsible for the beating of heart in a proper rhythm. Now, how exactly does it go? Let's have a look at that. This is one complete electrocardiogram, one beat, let's say. It is represented by P, Q, R, S and T. This is one complete heartbeat. Of this, the crest P, it represents the activity during atrial systole. That is, you can call this as the crest standing for atrial depolarization. P stands for atrial depolarization. QRS, that crest, it stands for ventricular depolarization. And T stands for ventricular repolarization. That is, let us say, this is seen during atrial systole, this is seen during ventricular systole, and this is seen during ventricular diastole. Now that's a standard, that's a normal, that's an ideal electrocardiogram that we come across. In this, from here till here, it is standard. It is named as PR interval. PR interval. From here till here, it is PR segment. From this to this whole thing is QRS complex. QRS complex. Now from here till here is ST interval. And from here till here, it is ST segment. That is a standard electrocardiogram. Now this electrocardiogram is taken by using 12 different electrodes, or you can call them as 12 nodes. 12 nodes, 12 electrodes are used for getting this entire graphical representation of the cardiac activity. Now, when I say this is normal, what can be the abnormal thing? See, abnormalities related to heart, a lot of them can be identified by reading the electrocardiogram or ECG. Now, these abnormalities basically they would be related to functioning of the heart, First of all, we can talk about the heart rate. A change in the heart rate, maybe increase or decrease. Increase in the heart rate is usually named as tachycardia. That is, instead of 70 beats a minute, it can go to 100 beats or even more. If it goes to a still higher level, it's called as atrial fibrillation. Fibrillation, that is a large increase in the heart rate, and at times it can go still higher, and then heart is almost unable to push out the blood. That's called as atrial flutter. Now, such disorders can be detected by using the changes in the electrocardiogram. Then we talk about the decrease in the heart rate. That's called as bradycardia. Bradycardia could lead to slow propulsion of blood or less propulsion of blood, resulting into hypotension, and that also can be detected by reading the electrocardiogram. Then the shape of the heart. Now, when I say shape of the heart, I am talking about conditions such as cardiomegaly. The heart gets enlarged. Sometimes the heart wall is thickened. Such conditions can be again represented in the electrocardiogram. Certain congenital heart diseases, that could be some valvular disease, there could be some other abnormalities, even sometimes the heart, instead of being majorly on the left side, it is on the right side. That's called as dextrocardia. That also can be detected by electrocardiogram. So this can help us in detecting so many abnormalities related to structure and morphology of heart. Now, rhythm of heart, that also can be changed at times, and arrhythmia, you can call it, or cardiac arrest can be the result. That can be pre-detected before it results into any serious complication. It can be detected, it can be diagnosed with the help of electrocardiogram. See, heart is supplied with a thin artery, that's called as coronary artery. Now, at times there could be blockages in the blood flow, and if such a blockage is there in the coronary artery, then the heart doesn't receive adequate blood supply and it fails to perform appropriately. Such a disorder can very well be detected with electrocardiogram. This can at times result into myocardial infarction. It is actually called as ischemia. Ischemia is inadequate supply of blood through the arteries. That can result into myocardial infarction. That can be detected with the electrocardiogram. Even the past history of MI, myocardial infarction, that is commonly called as heart attack, that also can be detected with the reading a electrocardiogram. Now, sometimes the potassium content of blood can vary, can be extremely low, can be extremely high. It is supposed to be somewhere between 3.5 to 5 millimoles per liter of blood. If it goes to little more than that, maybe 7 or 6 or that, then that is called as hyperkalemia, which can result into serious consequences in the functioning of heart. That can be detected with the electrocardiogram. Sometimes it could be too less, hypokalemia it can be called. That is also possible to be detected with electrocardiogram. So electrocardiogram is a diagnostic technique which can help us in identifying a variety of cardiac disorders. Some of them can be detected very well in advance, and their further consequences can be checked well in time.